Good morning and welcome to Engineer-Nyandarua County with the scenic backdrop of the Aberdare Ranges, which apart from being site therapeutic serve as one of the water towers in Kenya. Today we are here for another edition of the Njoroge Memorial Aberdare Classic 2024. The memorial race is in honor of John Njoroge Muya, who passed on in a road accident while racing in the Philippines. Today's race has its start at Engineer Town, then taking a left as if headed towards Naivasha, and another left back to Njabini Town, and ending up around 2 kilometers from Bubbles Lounge. On the course is a huge descent down the Rift Valley and up again with spectacular views of Lake Naivasha and the Great Rift Valley.
Halo. Ai. Usipoteze watu wewe. Usipoteze watu. Write me a check. Yeah, go ahead and write me a check. Stay left. Keep safe. We've sent the distances and everything up front. We're not going all the way to the Enjoy side. We're turning left in about 9 kilometers or so. So you'll see the road mark. We'll send the photos out. 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go.
The team rivalry of the Kenyan Riders and Safari Simbaz will be at play, with another spanner in the works being the new and hot kit team, the City Riders team, well kitted in their spanking new cycling jerseys and bibs. Notables in the peloton include Evans, Kemboi, Dustin, Brian Keita, Brian Thirum, among others. With the race about to start, we see the cyclists jostling up for positions as we head for the race start. And off we start with Kramer and Shafiq Mugalu at the front before Ivan Caputo of the Kenya Riders team decides to light it up at the front with Mike Musioka in hot pursuit with the peloton in tow. After being brought back, Parsi decides it's his turn at the front. As he goes past the riders, hoping someone will latch onto his move or the peloton will disintegrate. The peloton at the back goes after Parsi, with Kramer taking the lead with Kendra Masiga tight on her back wheel as if to lay to mark her. As Berber is at the front, Dustin Cook decides to get media airtime by soloing up front for a few seconds before Mike Musioka again goes after him with Eric Wallace and the peloton, which is together up to now. The ladies in the peloton jostle up for positions, being Grace Caviro, Jacinta Njoki, and Monica Jelimo, as Kramer and Kendra are on the front line. The City Riders team are now at the front, helping to bring back Mike and Dustin. What a time to launch an attack, as we seen Jenga Wanjiku freeing himself from the peloton, which so far has not allowed anyone to break free. The peloton now descends on the first descent with a gentle climb, which Shafiq Mugolu uses as a launch pad for his attack, and he is joined by David Kinja, Isaac Mendwa, and Arafat Kamulai. Next, we have Wangai attacking, taking up with him Gicheru and Karanja as the peloton reacts quickly and has them back. It seems the cyclists are relentless as another attack is made, taking up 3 riders up the road before the first left turn of the day. And Evans again attacks the peloton as he gains a good lead at the front, as the peloton is undecided on who will close the gap until Gicheru break away to join Evans as the 2 break away. Two forge ahead as Peter Karanja, Cornelius Kemboi, and Arafat Kimulai attack and break free to make a 5-man peloton at the front. Which is a big group, and the breakaway decides to slow and await the peloton, which Shafiq Mugalu times well and attacks and breaks free to be joined by John Muchiri to form a 2-man Kenya riders team breakaway. The 2 succeed to stay at the front for some time, as back in the peloton we have Ivan Kipruto and Pius Miru attack to form the Chasers 2-man peloton before being joined by another 2, making the Chasers group consist of 4 Kenya riders teammates, with a further John Muchiri and Shafiq being the leading group. The 4-man Chasers group later turns to 5 as Richie Matadi frees himself from the peloton and joins the Chasers. Dan Kiptala, sensing that there are too much riders up the road, drops down the hammer and brings with him the whole peloton, and now the breakaways of the day are neutralized. Arafat Kimulai then attacks and solos ahead as the breakaway with considerable time gap against the peloton, as Alex Gachi of the City Riders team takes on the duty of reducing the time gap with a bunch of riders behind his wheels. Arafat Kimule continues to increase the time gap at the front, as now it's Thier's time to do the work and reduce the time gap to the breakaway, as later Berber Kramer happily also takes up the role. Behind Berber Kramer is a City Riders member who decides to fancy his chances at the front, or is it media time being sought? David Kinjan, noticing the gap grow, decides to do the work himself, and the peloton is once again back together like before, with the exception of Arafat the breakaway at the front. More and more riders like Gicheru and James Keto fancy their chances, but all those moves are checkmated with the rival Kenya riders team in the peloton. Up to now, it is clear that no one would be allowed to break away and that the splits would be made on the first major climb. And Evans takes up to the front to increase the pace in order to split up the peloton, and Kemboi reinforces it by taking his turn too, and their efforts already are visible as the peloton disintegrates. Patrick Mugu, reading this move, moves up to the front before Kemboi decides to light it up with an attack, which Evans and Karanja follow before Karanja cracks and lets the two go ahead as he looks for the second peloton to join in. A six-man chasers peloton is formed before Boaz of the Kenya riders attempts to join the two breakaway of Evans and Cornelius, which is successful, and a three-man group is formed, while the chasers peloton now consists of Shafiq Mugalu, Karanja Ivan Caprudo, Peterson Kamau, Wangai of the Simbaez, and Patrick Mugu. Kemboi drops his chain and has to dismount on the second major climb of the day as Boaz and Wangai are now up front. Kemboi digs in deep and follows the two on the way, dropping Boaz and linking up with Evans Wangai. Behind them is Patrick Mugu, Karanja, and Ivan Caputo, as we have Mwangi, Peterson Kamau, and Shafiq Mugalu all split up on the 5 kilometers climb. Patrick Mugu drops Karanja and Ivan Caputo and now heads for Boaz, currently at 3rd place after being dropped by the 2 breakaway of Evans and Cornelius up front. Evans Wangai and Cornelius Kemboi finish the climb at Karate River and now prepare for the home stretch as the two relentlessly push themselves, going past the turn at Musabao and heading to Njabini Town and past waiting for a 1-2 victory. At the finish, we have a unique collaboration, perhaps in memory of Njoroge, as Patrick Mugu takes 3rd for the men's. For the ladies, we had our first winner being Kendra, followed by Monica Jelimo and Berber Kramer for 3rd.
In Kenya, there is a very good cycling people. They are very young guys who can be very strong, but to get them is very hard because they don't know what to cycle. But they are there, they are very strong, they can be very good in cycling. But I know if they can see me in newspaper or somewhere else, and then we see and tell them, do this and this, I think it can be more better. I have got no any problem. I'm so happy.